Okay, everyone, let's get started. Let's rock and roll on the live stream. Thanks for joining. Saturday morning, I got all set up, got my cup of coffee, and we're gonna dig into the charts. Now, typically on these live streams, what I like to do is go through my subscriber stock picks. So if you guys have a chart you want me to look at and do an analysis on, again, it's pretty fast analysis, so take it with a grain of salt. But in general, I'll give you some levels to watch, and then you'll know what to do, or you should know what to do if you see some of those levels get taken out. So some of that comes down to like candlestick analysis. When you get down near levels, the candles really cue you in on what's going on or what's likely to happen. So that's usually what you want to look at in detail, is the candles and how they perform. That shows how buyers and sellers are reacting basically around key levels. That's basically what it does. So if you guys are new to the channel, I do have a stock market technical analysis course. Just quick little deal on that. I put that together. It's about 4 to 5 hours of video training going through all the key concepts that I really use in my trading style and strategy. So I put that in the link in the description below. It's priced at $99. Today's the last day it's at that price. I'm bumping it up tomorrow to $150. Okay, so that will be moving up, but I think there's a lot of value. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from people, so that's encouraging. I'm glad that I'm able to help pass some knowledge on. Guys, that what's in that course, that's years worth of me struggling and not everyone. You're not just a natural trader. You're not just a naturally good at the stock market. Most people, especially the last couple of years, everybody thought they were a genius because they bought stocks and everybody's getting rich, basically. I got texts from all kinds of friends that I'd never even heard from in quite a while, at least on this topic, because they know I'm all into the stock market, asking me about, if I should buy GameStop or, what stocks, and they're all investing in these SPACs and all that. I mean, that was the mania that was out there, and, I gave them advice against it, but in the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. And the point being is that in that kind of a market where you got just this money dump that the Fed did and the government just like printed all this money, well, like you buy anything, you're going to, it was all going up for the most part. Now the market being more of a trader's market where we have money coming out, and, the people that can read the charts and have the skill set are the ones that are going to make the most, okay? The long-term investors, they're going to basically take a bath in this kind of a market, and then they'll just wait for their returns to come, 5-10 years. I don't know how long it'll take, but that's what they're going to wait for. I know personally, I've already doubled my trading account so far this year, so that's just kind of how these trades that I've been pointing out have been going. And if you've been following me, for the last few months or even longer, I've been hitting these trades at least. I don't get everything right, but so far this year, been pretty spot on with long and short trades. So that's worked out really well. That should continue. Again, we just use the technicals to help be our guide. Using a trading strategy, and especially one that I teach, will give you guys, at least will help you know when you're wrong, all right? Be wrong small and know when you're wrong. That's very important, to know when you're wrong. And that's a skill set. That sometimes takes just experience. I can show you levels and all that, but being able to just say, okay, I'm going to take this loss. I have to take this loss because I'm wrong. The chart tells me I'm wrong. That that doesn't come natural to many people, okay? Some, they're okay with it. Some are good at it. But a lot of people, they have a hard time taking any losses. So they just always want to be right. And that's just not the nature of how things go. So being wrong small and trusting in your chart, trusting in your analysis, and then knowing when you're right. Even when things are going against you, if it hasn't broken your technical picture, let's say you have a stop loss or a key resistance level, and you don't think it's going to go much beyond that level. All right, well, if it starts going into that level, rising into that level, and you're taking on some losses, there's no reason to get out of the trade, even though temporarily you're taking on losses. All right, so if you guys are getting spooked out, and I'm just giving you guys, this is just general advice, but I just know how things go. So if you guys are getting spooked out of trades, let's say I point out a trade and you're taking that trade with me. I don't recommend anything on this channel, but let's say I point out something and I say, these are some key levels, I'm taking this trade. If you guys are getting spooked out of the trade before it actually plays out, if no technicals have really changed, you're too heavy. You got too large of a position size. Okay, so I teach that kind of stuff in my course as well. Position sizing is important. Again, this is a game of endurance. This is a game that we want to try to make money in all markets over time, not just make money and when the Fed's pumping and then just give it all back the next year. All right, guys, so that's that. Check out the course if you're interested. Price going up tomorrow. And then drop me a thumbs up. I do appreciate that. Let's get into these charts. All right, I'm going to wrap for about an hour here, and we'll go through all your guys' stock picks that you want me to look at. And that's what we got. So starting at the top here. Hey, thanks for the super chat, Acupuncture Herb. Appreciate that. I'm drinking coffee this morning. I'm more of a coffee person than tea, but I make lattes is typically what I've been doing. And recently I've been using oat milk, which isn't too bad. It's not really that bad actually. So, all right. So Ted Mallon, what is your plan when or if Triple Qs hits 296.300? Well, I'm probably going to cover my short. Let's go into that chart here. Hopefully my audio is good, guys. I never did that audio check. I assume it is. So my plan on this one, all right. So, sorry, got to grab the right tool. These charts turn into such a mess because come Friday, my brain's smoked and I don't clean up my charts. I just, leave the computer. So on this one, let's take this auto off and roll it. Oh, guys. There it is. For some reason, I've been having some issues with my charts lately where it doesn't want to give me good scrolling, but there it is right down there. All right, so that is a level. That's a level of support. We've got horizontal support. Look at this on the Qs, okay? Look, see this right here? Resistance, resistance, resistance. Once it broke above, support, support, okay? And then let's check the break above. I just want to see something here. No real volume. I was looking for some sort of a volume spike. We didn't really get that. Okay, so, but the thing is, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reactions at that level. And it's not actually 300. It's about 298. But we start getting in that 300 zone. It's going to be pretty, they might step in early is the point. So, I think it's going to make sense to start covering some short trades or at least Qs if we get down there. So that's horizontal support. The other thing that we've got, so I've got this trend line. I've been toying with it a little bit on the, it's really on the weekly chart. This is your bull market price channel. I kind of like this now that I have it. Here's why. I've got the 2009 lows. I've got these 3 reactions here on the weekly chart. And I've got a couple right in here. And then these 2 dips below, these are where the market was. We did break trend. Each one of those dips broke trend. At least this is how I'm reading it. So we broke trend. The Fed stepped in. Okay, this is December 2018. Remember Christmas Eve? The Fed did the 180. All right, and started doing QE again. Okay, so the Fed stopped the bear market here, and then COVID crash, and they stopped the bear market here. So both times the market wanted to go into bear market. It makes sense. The Fed was hiking rates here, just as they are now, or at least faking that they are. And then they were reducing their balance sheet. The market only survives, this market at least, only survives on free and easy money. So the minute that you start taking that away, there's no strength, all right, outside of that. Just understand that. That's always been my premise, really, for the last at least 10 years. there's not really any real economic strength. Every time you see economic strength, GDP strength, it's because they've done some sort of money stimulus, money printing thing. Okay, whether that's tax cuts, whether that's just printing money. That's where the GDP comes from, because 70% of GDP is consumer spending. So you give people breaks on their taxes, they have extra money to spend. You give people money and just drop it in their checking account, they have money to spend. All right, so that's where the strength has come from. And then if the second they start pulling that back, we start getting negative GDP prints, just like we got yesterday. All right, so it's stimulus based. This market trades on the Fed. All right, and that's my number one thing that I'm really tuned into is the Fed and what they're going to do. I don't care about the Russia thing or any of that. I mean, that's kind of a sideshow. Look, the market didn't care about when we invaded Libya or all that kind of stuff. The Arab Spring, they didn't care about that. There's all these things that the market just didn't even care about. It just continued to go higher. All the market cares about is the Fed. And when the Fed backs off rates or starts hiking rates and backs off, we go into a bear market. And then this was just COVID, so that was just like shut down the government. Yeah, you're going to go into a recession if you're going to shut down everything. Nobody's spending any money, or at least not initially. So, and when everything's calculated on spending. Okay, so that's my little fundamental diatribe. So I like this trend line here, and there it is. Double support, all right? So I have to cover here. That's it. Bottom line, I have to cover down at 300. And I'm not saying that we're not going to break this. I think we probably will, but I don't think we're going to break it just straight through. I don't think we're going to just go like that and just break straight through. I think what's going to happen is we'll drop probably pretty impulsively down to this 300, maybe even next week. I think we might be set up to do it next week. We're not that far off now, I mean, we're only, $13? We're only 4.5%, 5% off, basically. So the level I've been calling for, way up here when we shorted it at the pop of the 200. Also, I shorted it back here on January 4th, I believe. So we shorted here, covered, got out, re-shorted it right there. All right. And I've been calling for that level the whole time. So that is my level that I'm going to cover at. And then we'll probably get a bounce. I might even flip long, guys, down there, at least for a temporary bounce. Maybe we get a bear market rally. Bear market rallies are really impulsive. You can get huge rips. So, because all the shorts are covering and the dip buyers are piling in. So maybe we do that and rally back up to that 317. All right, and then we come back. Then we come and break. I don't know. All right, moving on. That was a long answer, but I just want to talk through some of that stuff. HLT. All right, let's take a look at that. Hilton. Okay, so this is a travel thing. Let's see here. Well, I was marking this up earlier, probably in a live stream. Let's see. Let me just extend this out. Yeah, maybe that could also. Let's see how this looks if I go like that. Yeah. See, I can't really make anything there, so I'm gonna just leave that. I guess. Say we're just kind of back testing. Let me go to the daily here. This guy gave me a super chat, so I can dig into it a little bit. Let me get rid of this. I just want to kind of do some fresh analysis on it. Okay, so you did spike right here on my RSI. It's not that bearish, I guess. On the daily, it's not too bearish. You're riding the 200, just moving up. Let's mark that out. It looks like it's just kind of rocking the 200. This probably extends right in there somewhere. Well, let's see here. Yeah, right there. All right. Little break there. I'm going to go with that one for now. The reason you got this big gap, so we'll say that's kind of a reaction. And then you got 1. There's a cluster. 3. They stepped in there early. Couple in there. 5. It's somewhere right in there. Maybe it's not perfect, but the thing is, it's right in the 200 too. So yeah, this one with the trend line and the 200 right there. And if the 200 continues to go upward, I would just say you take out the 200. That's your sell signal. I don't see it in the momentum indicators telling me that like we're going to get that. Let me look at the hourly. Yeah, see, I don't even see it in the hourly. See we're coming down in price. You made a high here. You're kind of coming down, lower high. So you're downtrending slightly in price, but you're downtrending in momentum. So there's no divergence there. It's just basically like a pullback in an uptrend. And whether that comes down to the trend line, that's completely possible. All I see is an uptrend. So if I'd be wanting to buy at the trend line unless I saw something different at the point in time. So if it gets down there and you see something different, then might change. But yeah, that's what I see on that one. Does this pay a dividend? No. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe look at like H. I think H is like Hyatt. I've been kind of looking at this one. Yeah, see, same setup, really the same look. I mean, yeah, you do have this big high here, and so you on the weekly chart there's negative divergence. Let me look. Kind of right there. You can see like you've got weekly negative divergence, so you're probably going to have a correction relative sometime, but this is the weekly. This can go on for months. The daily, I don't see a negative divergence really on the daily. This was a high in momentum, so I would, and this, I don't even like this anymore. This, maybe it's this, I don't know, could be doing this bearish rising wedge. Maybe you continue the wedge until you see the breakdown. I'd say it's bullish, But weekly divergence says if you get the breakdown of the 200, and maybe this trend line's a lot better defined. I like it, So these will probably all break at the same time, roughly. All right, you see a break of that. That would be the sell signal. Okay. Yeah, maybe almost time to go long on Qs down at 300, possibly, but we got to look at the charts. What do they show us at that point in time? If we get down there, do we have bullish divergence? Do we have the things we need? BLD. What's this one? Okay, BLD. What is this one in? Building products. All right, so this is an inflation trade. It's been coming off as expected. The inflation trade, so this is what the Fed's trying to do, is trying to put pressure on the inflation trade, right? They don't want to raise rates, but they want to put pressure on the inflation trade. So they're going to raise rates as they kind of need to continue to put the pressure, but they're going to talk a much bigger game, hoping that the big scary talk does a lot of the work for them so they don't actually have to do the rates to do the work. I don't think it's going to work. I mean, I think we're getting, we're seeing the correction in the inflation trade a little bit right now, but to me it seems like probably just a correction. Here's your March 2020 lows. I don't have anything there. Big kind of topping pattern. Potentially a big head and shoulders here. You've got, I don't really have a neckline though. Well, I guess that was your neckline. Right there. All right, so, and then your head and shoulders would have been like shoulder, head, shoulder. All right, those are pretty much right there at the same level. Let me mark that level out. Okay, head and shoulders topping pattern, maybe. And we broke that trend line support. See the support here? See it? 1, 2. Look at all those reactions on the daily chart. And then when you broke, and I'll zoom in on the break, this was your sell signal, at least the sell signal I would take. And you see the volume, you can kind of see it behind it. There, volume spike right there. So that's confirming volume on the break. So again, that would be a sell signal. And you had negative divergence right here. Okay, it started to show up right there. So see this? Price is moving higher, higher, higher. Momentum down. Negative divergence. So if you were way back here, this is, maybe there was a sell signal back in here, but yeah, it's probably going lower. I would say look at these right here. This is kind of my target for a lot of things, at least in the near term, are these pre-COVID highs, and that's about what, 125-ish, maybe. Yeah, 126. Well, sorry, 127.50-ish. Don't wait for the exact penny, but I would say right in there. So probably going to do this. All right, look, we broke, back test, should roll over. Head to the next level. Okay, moving on. Restoration Hardware. Isn't that Restoration Hardware, RH? I don't know what this one is, but I think it's Restoration Hardware. Well, look, here's a level I've had in the past. I didn't extend it out, but it's magic. See that? I don't know when the last time I looked at this chart, but there you go. At support here, building bullish divergence. Look at that. Boom, bullish divergence. Now, again, the market has bullish divergence too. If we look at like SPY, we've got bullish divergence here in the market too. So, I think what's going to happen is we're going to dip. I don't know. On SPY, I think we're going to dip down. I don't know if we're going to take out the divergences. Maybe we just dip, like in the Qs, maybe we dip down to this 300 because it's really not that far down now. We dip down and we'll keep the divergences. That makes sense to me, because I'm looking to cover there. I'm looking maybe to go long down there. And if we dip down, hit it, keep the bullish divergence, it's just another indication like, okay, this is a really good area to cover shorts and go long potentially, because you'll have bullish divergence. You're at big double support. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen, I guess. And so I don't know. RH might undercut. We got to just see what's going on. This is not tech, so I'm covering Qs. Bullish divergence at support. And you've got a reaction. You're definitely grinding here. I don't know. Usually they don't give you that long to build to buy the low, If I go to the hourly on this one, what I would do is just mark this out. If you want to go long, which is probably the direction I would want to do, I guess, if I was trying to pick a direction. I don't want any part of it right now, but if I was but maybe if you break this right there, that trend line, get a nice bullish breakout bump like that, big impulsive candle, that would be your buy signal. And that's the only reason I would buy it, is if I got that buy signal. But definitely a bullish setup, okay? And then probably look, and again, treat this like a bear market rally, okay? This is still sell the rip. You got a big, look, the 200's heading down, so any kind of rally, you're probably going to run into maybe, the 200 or something up there at 525. I can extend this out, and that's decent. That's a good level, I think, right there. See that? Resistance. Finally broke out, pretty impulsive. Support. Okay, so there's a level, and then you got a level right here. Let's zoom this out. Somewhere right in there. Yeah, I like that. All right, that's probably, I would probably only go there, to be honest. The 200 looks like it's heading down pretty quickly, so maybe you pop this, hit the 200 and roll down. But treat it like a bear market rally. I wouldn't treat it like the low. And so from where we're at now, 25% rally-ish. Could be more, but there's some levels to watch. All right. Natural gas. Well, I don't trade natural gas, guys. I've talked about it. It's just a little too volatile for me. You have to know your own emotions when it comes to trading, and certain stocks just scare me. You know, I can make money in stocks. Like, you know, if I get the direction right, I can size up, I can do certain things, but certain things just they're too erratic, or I can't ride out the erratic movement because it just throws off my analysis. Natural gas is kind of one of them. I just don't usually like to trade it. But on this one, yeah, I don't know. I just got these still going on. This upward trend line here. I don't know. I'm going to have to come back to it. I don't have an opinion on it. I don't see divergence. So, but this blow off top thing looks kind of like a topping pattern with big volume like that. So maybe we get a correction down to the trend line, something like that in the 200 and then hold. But no opinion on that one. Sorry. BTU, that should come down. That's Peabody Energy. Yeah, there's your sell signal. It just came. We just got a sell signal on this on April 22nd, so a week or so ago. All right, and you know, sell signal, back test, breaking down, going lower. Watch these levels for areas of reactions. Here's one right in there, which is about 1818. You got another one right here at 1414. I got another one down here, and those are probably the only levels I'd really even care about right now. That's down there at 875. I don't know about that one. This one, high probability, super high probability. This one, decent. Probably would be my final target on that one, at least for, you know. And again, when I say final target, maybe it's just okay, bear market rally, you know, and we don't want to ride out the bear market rallies. So I don't know. Look for those. 1427 would make a ton of sense because you could hit this. You're gonna hold here for a little bit. They might break it, hit the 200, flush through, hit support, recover the 200, and off you go. Again, commodities are in a bull market. This is a commodity kind of deal, so they should hold the 200. You typically hold the 200, although you know you can undercut it a little bit and have some stop raid moves. But in general, you should kind of hold around the 200. So that's what I got on that one. Okay, Apple. Well, Apple's going lower, guys. Apple's the last holdout. All right, I was talking with a friend on Friday about it, and Apple. This is the Alamo. Okay, so everybody's piled into Apple. Retail. Here's how it's working with a lot of retail. They're all sitting on relatively big gains over the last decade or however long they've owned it, and everybody's piled into Apple. They're a very profitable company. Nobody wants to sell because they don't want to take the tax losses or they don't want to take the tax bill. So they don't really want to sell it because they don't want to pay the tax bill, but and it's still relatively strong. So this is our last holdout. This thing breaks, market breaks, because Amazon's smoked, Facebook's smoked, Google looks like it's done. Tesla's still kind of hanging in there. We'll look at that here in a second. Apple's the one, though, that is like obviously just still holding out. All right, it's down, 12% from the highs, and it's just doing this holdout thing. So the key level to watch on Apple is this support line right here. We should break it. I'm pretty sure we're going to. That's one of the reasons why I'm short triple Qs. So, right there. Just mark that out. September 20th, or September 23, 2020, and then you'll just ride these support line and lots of tags of that. We break that, this thing should come way down. All right, and going on the weekly chart on Apple, there's your bull market going all the way back to 2009-ish. You know, 2009 is right here, but this is where Apple really got into a nice price channel. And so, you know, I got it circled somewhere down there. It doesn't have to be here because it might take time. So maybe it's here, you know, higher than this, but this trend line. All right, so we should come down, hit the top of what seems to be the top of this trend line, which is not my favorite, the top of it, because I only really have 2 reactions, maybe 3. If I extend that out. But 1, 2, so not my favorite there. That's my target on Apple. 75, 80 bucks, 90, whatever, whenever it gets there. From where we're at now, that would be a drop of about 50%. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. 50-ish percent drop in Apple, 45, something like that. That can easily happen. No question about it. I mean, look, these drops, here's 2012, Apple fell 45%. Here's another drop in 2015 from the highs down to the lows. There's 30%. All right, here's another drop, 2018, 37%. Here's COVID, 33%. We're off 12%. All right, we can easily double the losses, if not triple the losses from where we're at right now. So that would be a 50% drop. That would basically be about the same as what these were. I know it looks a little funny because it's logarithmic scaling, all right? So it kind of makes the drops seem like they're not a lot, but but you know, if I pull that off, you know, it looks like that. So yeah, looking for Apple to basically have a pretty strong bear market. But again, we got to see this support break. All right, moving on. Sorry guys, just trying to roll through these. Hey guys, if you haven't dropped me a thumbs up, please do so. We got about 90 people and 50 likes. Just click a little thumb button. Pretty simple. All right, I'm just scanning for the next. I'm trying to go through these guys. Just try to please try to just keep your picks to just 1 or 2 so I can get to everybody. I want to give everyone an opportunity. Okay. CCL, Carnival Cruise Lines. All right. Let me go to the daily here. Bullish divergence. All right, we've been in a downtrend. Pretty, it's trending down. So understand that we are in a downtrend. We should continue to downtrend until we see a change of character, which maybe comes soon if the market's going to just drop out and we bottom at those levels. But downtrend for sure. So we mark out that. It's roughly right in there. And the lows look like that. There's your downward channel. Bullish divergence. Okay. We have the bullish divergence. If we are going to sell off impulsively and drop more than those levels that I was talking about, then we're going to burn through these bullish divergences. So I don't know if that'll happen, but if you see that, it just like is a nail in the coffin, at least in my opinion, that we are entering a bear market, and this will be a lot deeper than what people think. So, that's, again, the selling always is usually a lot worse than what people think. Just the same as things can go up a lot more than you think they can. That a lot of people think, oh, we just have a correction on with the bull market. No, I don't see that in the charts. I see the start of a bear market. And I'll show you guys something here in a second. So we're right in the middle here. We've got some bullish divergence. Probably going to go down and make another low, maybe another divergent low. But again, until you see a breakout of the upward channel, we're in a downtrend. So just treat it as such. Now, I wouldn't short it here. It's not my spot to short. I'd want to short, up here. That's a good spot. I want to short up there, or you can buy it, at support. All right, so that's all I see. Moving on. KO. Silver. I can talk about silver. Someone wants to know. Or hold on, I want to skip to someone. CEIX. What's this? I like that one, I think. Probably go with that one there. Not my favorite, but 1, 2, 3. That's a trend. You need at least 3. Slight bearish rising wedge building. No real negative divergence. Not clean negative divergence. Slight negative divergence on the RSI. It's just not really there on the PPO. It's kind of there. It's not super steep. You can see there's still some momentum in there. Bullish momentum. Yeah, see, no real negative divergence. So, it's at what looks to be some resistance. That's the daily. Look at the hourly. Yeah, I wouldn't short this. I'll tell you that much. I wouldn't go long here, but if you are long, you could maybe stay long. I wouldn't short it though yet. So that's all I got. If you're long, I'd probably stay long, and if you're and that's it really. There's no other trade there. I wouldn't go long in a new position. I wouldn't initiate a short position. Maybe just like a hold, I guess is what they say. All right, so, but again, don't take, look at the hourly chart, really narrow that down. So you want to take your trend line, draw, I don't know, this thing just doesn't really chart well. I just can't get a super clean chart on it, so it's just not something that I would really touch. Silver. Let's look at the silver futures real quick. Silver's at support. Under it a little bit, but again, that makes sense. You want to usually, if you're going to get to a key level, you're going to stop short of it and not hit the level and bounce, or you'll undercut it. This is all stop running action. The algos are all programmed to do this kind of stuff. Run down, run a bunch of stops, and then flip. And so I see some support. So as far as I can tell, we're in a bull market still. We had this was your big corrective pattern. Corrections take time, and this did take some time. So we corrected in silver for quite a while, over a year basically. Broke out, back test. To me, it looks like the buy zone, and that's why I've been buying some of these silver miners. I don't buy the metal per se. I don't, go in like SLV or anything. I usually go for the miners. But I've been buying some of the miners, and so we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but as of right now, I like it, and we need to see this turn up, and probably next week, so to keep this momentum positive, like that. No real divergence there, but if you look at the hourly, it's still there. So, yeah, need to see it turn up. You've got bullish divergence right there on the hourly. You want to keep that divergence. If you burn through it, then silver's going lower. But I kind of feel like we're going to bounce, but, you know, watch gold. Gold's usually my tell. You know, gold charts better usually too, and silver typically will follow. And then the miners still look good. Like this one, PAAS. Again, it's just building the base. You know, we've got bullish divergence here. Building, and it keeps making little lows. Divergent low. It's probably going to make another one. Divergent low. And those are, you know, I think we're going to hold right in this area. So, again, it's all about putting a position on where you have low risk, right? If I think it's going to hold here because I have divergence and we're at big support, you know, okay, this was resistance in the past, broke out, back test. So I got good support and I've got divergence. As long as I keep those divergences intact and we're holding support, even if you have little intraday breakdowns, you know, you're going to want, if you have an intraday breakdown, as long as it's not too impulsive and you just kind of go like this and just, maybe you break just barely and kind of you're just down there, it's not that impulsive, then look for the recovery. If it, you know, if it recovers, boom, that's just an instant signal like, okay, that was a fake out, we're going higher. All right. So it's low risk to take a long position down here because if it breaks and doesn't recover and starts to roll over, okay, I'm out, you know, and I'm out small. I lose this much, you know, versus like, you know, taking a trade somewhere else. Okay, moving on, guys. Trying to get through all these. KO, I forget. Is that, which one is that? Coke, yeah. All right, so you have negative divergence. It's just barely there, but it is there on both momentum indicators. All right, so this was a divergent high right here from kind of this former area. It looks like we got a sell signal on it too. If I go to this like that. I like that right there. Yeah, I'd say that's a sell signal, most likely. So you broke. Nothing super impulsive, one thing, but look, you break, you recover, you break, you recover. This is volatility increases when you're usually changing trend, and that's what that looks like. Up, down, up, down. That's volatility increasing. So you go from a period of pretty low volatility where it's just grinding higher, higher, higher to all of a sudden big moves, big candles. See that? Look, little candles, not that big, you know, relatively small. We get up here, the earnings was there, but big candles start to gyrate. All right, I think we probably have broken trend and we're going to head lower. Where do we go? Well, you got some support here. People will be eyeing that one because that's usually the first, you know, the first level of support. They usually try to hold it at least for a little bit. So right there, 64.30. That should go. But whether it goes on the first tap or not, I don't know. And down here is another level. Yeah, that's okay. And then let's look at the weekly. There's your weekly, that at least the one that I like. And that's probably where we head to be honest. Down to that trend line. Still in a bull market. But big weekly divergence too. So at a minimum, I would say we're going to work our way lower and hit this trend line. I don't know when, so you don't exactly know the price, but I think we hit that trend line, and then at that point, we'll see. If you see a break of the trend line on the weekly and the 200-day moving average, that tells you this thing's going into a bear market. All right, moving on. Hut? Did I cover Hut? I thought I covered that. I guess I didn't. Hut. Hut 8 Mining Corp. This must be Bitcoin. What is this? Technology. This is Bitcoin or crypto or whatever. So guys, I'm bearish on crypto in general. I see crypto moving up with the NASDAQ. I see it moving down with the NASDAQ. It's a speculative thing. You know, retail's piled into that. It's no different than the meme stocks for the most part. It basically trades on hype and technicals. And that hype is done. We're done with that. I really think that we're done with that mania hype pumping stuff where you're seeing GameStop and these we're going to see the opposite now. So I think lower on this one, just that's fundamentally, but look at the chart. It hasn't been trading for a very long time. Yeah, I don't like anything there, but look, here's the pump back in 2020 when everything else was pumping. This was pumping, okay? Made a new high, divergent high. All right, this is all. I teach all this stuff in my course. So if you guys haven't taken the course, for $99 today, I think it's well worth it. I'm just being honest with you, and you know, look at the comments from other people who have taken it. It's I think I'm giving it away for a steal, to be honest, and that's one of the reasons why I thought about why I'm raising the price, because I just feel like this information that's taken me years to learn and lots of losses over the period of learning this. I'm giving you guys a way head start. I can't teach you to trade. I can't give you the emotional fortitude or anything like that, but being able to find the right trades early, that's going to give you a huge leg up. So take that course if you haven't done so. I'd expect everybody that's on this live stream has either taken it or should be taking it, and get it while it's $99. All right, I'm not ripping you off. I'm just giving you guys information there. This is your negative divergence here. So see the divergent high, negative divergence. This one doesn't really have a trend line I can mark out. So down there, that would be my target. All right. What, 64 cents? Basically worthless. I don't know. Penny stock. That's where it's going, most likely. What I would do, the only support you can really find would be right about here. All right. And it's there right now. So it's at support right now. The only support I can find is right there. If it breaks that, should head right down there. And this is a thin zone. There's no trading through here. This is just spiked up. All right, you break, you spike down, because there's no traders. There's not a lot of traders in there, so or people that have taken trades. So it should. This thing's on the edge. Now, if I look at the hourly, I mean, you're trying to get some bullish divergence here. They're trying. It's not. It's pretty shallow, but it's slightly there. So that's it. I just watched that level. All right. 350. 353, 350. You see an impulsive break below 350, and it looks like it's going to, let's say you get an hourly break, because this one will probably move fast, but let's say you get an hourly break, and it's relatively impulsive, and you can kind of tell the selling's impulsive, not just a little dip below on the 1 minute chart. You really want to see a solid hour, then it's likely done. All right, so that's something to watch. I don't know, maybe it's a speculative penny kind of stock, junk stock, so maybe it's worth a short trade. I wouldn't short it here, but again, you see that break, could be a good little short trade. Again, taper back your position size is what I would do, because this thing's so speculative and it's low dollar amount. If you're going to put $10,000 on, UPS or one of these other ones, I'd probably put 1,000 on it. If you're going to put 100,000 on something, everybody's got their own level. Then maybe put 10,000. Taper back your position size. If this thing gives way below that 350, then I think you've got a 80% drop. Okay, moving on. Lawrence says he can't log into the course. Okay, Lawrence. Well, why don't you... Guys, if you can't log into the course, for one, you need to create an account, okay? And then you have to buy the course. It's just clicking on the course and then buying it. Two, if you are trying to log in and you can't log in, there should be a forgot password recovery tool on that login form. Look for that. You should be able to recover that. I don't manage the course. I set it up on teachable.com. But you should be able to do a forgot password to do the course. If you can't if you still can't log into the course, again, try that forgot password. Send me a comment in the YouTube thing. Just send me, a comment somewhere. I'll try to help you out. But try the forgot password first. All right. In the comment, maybe let me know your username that you set it up as. All right. I don't want anyone who's paid for it to not be able to get the content they paid for. AVGO. All right. That's going to be a short. That's Broadcom. But we're at support. All right. So, I got to get to the daily. Ooh, yeah. So nothing right now. I wouldn't do it right now. It's not a short right now because there's no sell signal, but I think there's a short setup here. You don't have the negative divergence though that I like to see. Like this high, we haven't made a new high and put in a divergence. So yeah, it's not actually the best short setup. You could go long. I don't know. You could. We're at support. That's it, We're at support. So I wouldn't short it here. I don't have the setup that I like to see for a short. But I'd be on watch for a break of that trend line. So you could go long and then just have a stop somewhere below. If we break, which I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going lower, but I couldn't tell you to short this without the technicals telling me to do it. So that's just a gut feeling, but I don't know if we're going to break here. You might get a bounce and then break. I don't know. But I think it will break. The other semis we're seeing break. Look at SOXX. That's breaking down. You had a bearish rising wedge. You broke. You back tested. You broke. Okay, so you're breaking. NVIDIA breaking support right there at 208. That broke, heading lower. All right, so this one should break. Okay, this is for some reason a holdout, but so I wouldn't want to go long, to be honest, right here and now, but I wouldn't short it either. I would just wait for the sell signal. So on this one, I will probably short this as well. I'm just gonna watch it. You get the break, some sort of an impulsive breakdown like that, and I'll short it. And then we should head down to about 491, 492-ish. And yeah, this has a ways to fall, guys. So down here at 420 is another level. So that's what I would say on that one. All right, guys, I'm gonna just do a few more, and then I got to wrap up. I know there's a lot of comments. Let me see if there's any super chats to try to get to these. Hey, Mr. Bear, thanks for that super chat. I really appreciate that. That's a nice gesture. And I don't see any pick you want me to do. Oh, there's one, SLB. All right, guys, let me see here. I want to make sure I get to all the super chats. All right, SLB, Schlumberger Oil Service. Their oil service company. I think they do a lot of work over there in North Dakota. All right, so Schlumberger. Looks like I've done some work on this in the past. In general, I'm bullish oil and the commodities. They look like they've just started a bull market, but they're probably due for a correction. Okay, so in bull markets, you will have nice solid corrections to wash out all the hot money, but and so that's what I think they're due for. But you know, I'd be looking to buy the dip. Yeah, I like that right in there. Okay, so this is a little bear trap right there. We'll just throw that one out, but that's a bear trap. Yeah, right there. That's a good trend line. Lots of reactions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a really well-defined trend line. Okay, so until that breaks, then, you know, then it's still in an uptrend. So understand that. You've got negative divergence there and there. Okay, so you're in a uptrend with negative divergence right now, up at what looks to be some resistance. So it's kind of spiking. See how it's like spiking here? These little spikes are divergent highs. Divergent high, divergent high. There's another one. There's another one. So those are telling me that it's topping out and we're coming down to the trend line. So that's where it's going, at least in my opinion, down to that trend line. I don't know when it gets there. You got the 200-day, you got the trend line. The trend line's so well defined, I would say it's better than the 200-day in terms of support, but maybe a 15% drop in this one. And then down there, we'll see. But I'd probably be a buyer down there, to be honest. I'd be more interested in probably buying this than I would be looking to short it. But right here, like, I think it's going lower. So probably 15% down or so. And then watch that trend line. That will be your tell. You break that trend line with an impulsive breakdown, then this thing's going to go into a longer term correction, which could get you down to maybe, you know, something like that, maybe down to like 24. I don't see it right now. I see a bull trend. All right, so down there. All right, I'm keeping on rolling, guys. All right, I'm going to roll down to the very bottom of the comments, and then I'm going to kind of scan upward. I'm going to do 2 more, and then I got to get going. So we're looking for any interesting ones. Yeah, my course is all about charting, Daisy. My course is all about how to draw trend lines, you know, what is a trend line, how to read candlestick analysis, divergence analysis, risk reward mitigation or analysis. You know, you want to take trades that have a higher reward versus risk ratio. That's key. All right. I don't want to bet $1 to win $1. I want to bet $1 to win, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever. So that's a key element, and it's all in there, you know. Yeah, Tesla. Let's look at Tesla because I'm short that one, and I know it's a popular one, so what a mess I've got going on with this chart. So let me clean this up. I got to just clean this up. Sorry, guys, my kid's bugging me about doing his Chromebook. All right, Tesla. Well, all right, just zoom in on. All right, we had a big impulsive sell signal. Old Elon Musk, this guy drives me crazy. I mean, the thing is, he's such a pumper. You know, I don't see how anybody can't see through it. He's selling right here. It came out. He was selling on what, Tuesday and Thursday. So that's Tuesday. The stock's down 12%, and then he's selling on Thursday. The stock's down, you know, a little bit more ish. And then he says, okay, guys, no more selling. Like, the stock's not going to go down anymore. Don't worry about it. It's like, it's like, okay, it's okay if I sell. Let me sell. You guys don't sell because I'm done selling now. I've got my money. So you guys don't sell because I'm done selling. So let's not dump the stock. You know, it's basically like, let me sell so I can get the cash out of it, but you guys don't sell because I need the stock to stay up to keep my wealth. It's crazy. But anyways, the technicals are telling me lower. So here's the thing. Bear flag. Boom. Flagging. Bop. Right there. Next level of support. 779. And let me just kind of mark that out on the hourly just to, well, you know, it's not as clean of a bear flag on the hourly, to be honest. Let me see here. Just because of this big drop right here. So, yeah, look at that. Here's Elon Musk. He's selling on Tuesday and Thursday. Interesting. He got his money. You guys don't get yours. Don't sell it because he's done selling. It's funny. Look, it rallied right into the 200, popped above it briefly, failed. All right, so that's all you need to know. I would just read that as a rejection, and this thing's going lower. All right, I'm short Tesla. I've got a decent short position on it now. I think we're done with the pump in terms of the retail pump. Elon's never going to give up. He's going to, you know, he'll always try to pump it, but all right, so we should go lower. And I've got some support here at 783, but my target is right there, 555. All right, so where we're down, we're another, 35%. I think we'll probably do this. Hold for a day or two, maybe a week, and down we go. All right, we'll have a little thing in between this and then like that. And then down there, I don't know. But yeah, that's my target for right now. One more, guys, and I'm going to wrap up. All right, so let me just make sure I've got all the super chats. I've covered all those. Again, thank you, Mr. Bear. Appreciate that. Thank you, Acupuncture Herb. Appreciate that. And all right, I'm going to do one more, guys. Sorry, I can't go through all the comments. I see a lot of them. Just trying to... I'm just trying to, look at Mosaic. That's maybe interesting for a pullback, MOS. Again, I like Mosaic long term, all right? That's a commodity trade. DVN. Well, look, I cover DVN in my weekly videos because I'm short that stock. So and it's a trade idea I put out there. So I'll continue to follow up on that one throughout the week. I see lower, guys, on DVN. So I'm still short it. And in fact, I added to the short on that recent pop higher. So far, we're looking good, I think. So looking for lower prices on DVN. Probably a gap down on earnings. I think DVN has earnings on Monday. Look at my videos on Friday. I covered that. So I think we go lower. Waste management. So I have a lot of people asking me if I'm interested in doing like an online platform or like a live stream chat room. I'm not really interested in it, at least right now. Maybe I'll do some sort of a membership thing, but I'm just not super interested in it at this moment. The thing is, guys, the most valuable thing to me is my time, and I don't want to make it so that you guys are paying me a monthly thing or, for a live stream, and then I'm just committed to having to be in there all the time and give it, I'm watching the charts all the time, and yeah, I'm trading, but I just don't want to have to make it like a requirement where it's now kind of a job. You're paying me for my time, basically. I don't want to be paid for my time per se. So that's why I haven't done it. I make a lot more money in the markets than I do with this YouTube thing. So, when I find good ideas, I put money on my own trades and I point them out to you guys. So that's why I haven't done it. But, I got a course. I'm teaching you guys, trying to teach you guys how to do it yourselves. Part of me has thought, I can't teach too many people because the trades won't work anymore. If too many people are onto it, eventually the algos and stuff will catch onto it. But yeah, we're still small enough. So at this point, we've got power in groups if we're all taking the same trades. But, you know, we're still small. It's not going to move. We're not going to move a stock or anything like that. Last one. Which one do we want to do here? Yeah, UPS should go lower. I covered that in my video. Any trade that I'm actually in, I try to cover in my weekly videos. So ABBV, UPS, UMP, DVN, CNQ, Tesla, Triple Qs, IWM. Off the top of my head, I think that's all I'm short. I don't know. There might be a couple more. I've got some long volatility. Probably looking for a spike next week into vol. So I'll probably maybe cover that and get out of that. But we'll see if we get that spike. NEO has been bombed out. I'm not really, that one should go lower. UPS. Hey, I covered UPS. Look at it in my thing. All right, we're going to do waste management. All right, I just see that one. All right, so on the weekly chart, bull market or bull trend in waste management going back to 2012. So there's your bull trend, COVID drop. We just kind of X that out. It's kind of a liquidity event. It just defies the trend. So support, 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 support. Okay. So divergent high. We recently had a divergent high. See that? Boom. And it's there in the PPO. So this spike high right here, let's go to the daily. I'll show it to you. This spike high right here, that's a divergent high. High probability of failing. We just made the divergence on Thursday on that dumb rally. Guys, that rally on Thursday, I was like, okay, you're going to give me another great opportunity to short into? I'll take it. So I added to some shorts on that. Right at key levels. I added Qualcomm. I wasn't short Qualcomm. That's another one, guys. I'm short Qualcomm. I wasn't short Qualcomm until Thursday when they rallied it right into resistance. All right, I'll take a Qualcomm rally into resistance right before big tech earnings that the charts tell me are going to miss in some way. Sure. So yeah, I mean that was like $600-700 on that in a day. So I'm short Qualcomm, and this one failed. Now, shorter term, yeah, I can't really make a super clean trend line on that, to be honest. At least from the lows, I can't. So let's look for another reaction, maybe. Look for some sort of a little bounce reaction hold thing, then a break. That might be our tell. Could maybe draw this out, but I don't like that either. Yeah, maybe that. I don't know. I don't really like that. Not the cleanest, at least in the short term, but I'm telling you, this divergent high on the weekly with that kind of a candle looks like we popped up and failed and rolled over. So look for lower prices. Maybe here's a trend line to watch. Yeah, watch that one. I like that one. Let's go to the daily just to see where that comes from. It's right there. It's down there a ways, but that would be your bigger sell signal. But again, by the time you get down there, you don't have too much more to drop before you're at big support. But, so I would say if I had to guess, because I don't have the cleanest trend line right here to really give me like something to watch for a sell signal, I would say we head down to here, maybe a little short stop at the 200, probably break, and then hit this, probably get a bounce here, maybe back up to the 200, get rejected, break, and then, we head down to the major trend line, all right? And then down here, that's probably where you want to go long, or you would definitely want to cover your short. The way I would trade it is I'd probably cover my short here, all right? And then if it breaks the 200, re-short it for a move down to here, and I'd cover my short down here. And then I would just wait, and that was it. You could flip long down there. Depends on what the chart looks like. You get the break of that, that's the bear market sell signal telling you, okay, big sells, bear market's coming in this one. I think that's probably what we're going to get but I just don't know when. You know, we could hit it, bounce for a month, 6 months, whatever, then break. So that's how I would trade that one. Guys, thanks for joining in the live stream. Drop me a thumbs up if you haven't done so. Check out the course, and I will catch you guys on Monday, all right? Good luck. Have a good weekend.